The Russians got the same orders as us. And they just struck first.
Struck first. Mutually, we're evolved species.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 690 of Watch and Complain.
I don't know what it is. Today I've been editing the Best Of show, which you've probably seen by now. And it's got a lot of stuff in it, so it's been an all-day fiasco because I'm not the best at editing. So
I'd say that
I'm a little
also the fun
frazzled.
thing about watching us edit is you stay the same, but me, my hair is constantly all in different fucking shapes and whatnot because I sometimes remember to comb my hair, often not.
And I don't have hair.
And my hair doesn't grow fast, but grows. My hair grows fast, but I can't grow a beard for the life of me. But my hair does grow fast.
So what did we go and watch this week?
We watched a movie that I think is synonymous with excitement.
It's about space.
Which of us did the welcome? I did it, but did I really?
You kind
say
of did it, yeah.
All right, it wasn't very good, so we apologize.
We
This
could
is a
just
good
restart the
indication
whole
of how
show.
this whole fucking episode is going to be.
I don't even know what number it is.
We watched. I said
the thing.
episode 690, not 690.
Yeah, 690 it is.
We watched a movie that we just read a review where the tagline was "In space, no one can hear you yawn." And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty correct. And going into it,
And it's called
I.S.S. standing for
International Space Station.
Woo. Now, I think the whole reason they made this movie is it looks like it cost about $1.50 to make because there's no stars in it. It makes no sense. It's all inside little fucking. There's one scene where the dude from the Mindy Project is he's on a green screen because he's outside the I.S.S. and whatnot. But the whole movie looked like it cost like $14. And you can tell this must have been a script that was like in a pile for about 10 years because it made no goddamn sense. And going into it, so we're driving to it. And even when you brought up that we should go see this movie, I was like, they're being told, the Russians are being told to kill the Americans, Americans are being told to kill the Russians. I'm like, what for? If there's a fucking war going on Earth, what would 6 people in a space station have anything to do with that? Now, if they were carrying like a vaccine for the president's son or something that was going to save planet Earth, then sure.
But it could in this. It could.
But you're telling me...
It's reaching.
Okay, so why don't you give your impression of running down what the story was?
2 Americans go up to the I.S.S. space
Wrong.
station. Oh, I was
It was
redundant.
her. Wasn't it her? Oh, no, it was her and that brunette guy. Right? The
2
guy that's got his-
Americans.
Yeah, shut up. All right. I'm thinking of the end when she leaves with the Russian
I'm just
guy.
waiting to say wrong each time.
Wrong!
They go up to the I.S.S. space station. They get acclimated. They're there with another American and 3 Russians.
Yeah.
At the International Space Station. That's it.
And so lead American takes her through everything. Now, try to follow the logic here because the logic falls apart instantly. She goes, we're all scientists here. All of us are above warring. And this is what the Russian woman says.
We try to stay away from politics.
Yeah, she goes, because we're what does she say? We're an elevated species. Trying to say that they're scientists, so they're super smart. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not going to fall for all that shit.
They don't need to deal with it.
He explains to her,
While also at the same time being a little like sensitive to the topic of politics. So.
Yeah. But so lead American tells her all the Americans get a key for their boxes. All the Russians get a key for their boxes. Americans can't open Russians. Russians can't open Americans.
Which I could see being a thing.
Right, absolutely. Sure. But it was more like, oh, okay, well, that's, all this is going to come to play in the end of it. But then he says also, here's your locker where you're going to put all your mice because
Yeah.
she's testing mice for I forget what.
Weightlessness.
But there was something about the weightlessness, like growing organs.
Okay.
Remember, because her father died on a waiting list or something.
Oh, that's right.
But what's fucking
But she
stupid
never
is
got there.
she has to share her locker with one of the Russian dudes, and I'm like,
Her general area, yes,
but
not her experiment spot.
you can keep a drawer that's going to hold your diary. That's private. But the area that you've gone up to space to research, that's going to be shared with someone else. The thing that's possibly, trillions of dollars of scientific research, that's going to be shared.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. So then they're looking out the window and, they're all, hey, let's get along and we're friends.
Kumbaya,
She finds out,
sure.
Yeah, she finds out that lead American is banging second in command Russian, the girl, blonde girl. She finds
They're
out those
heavily
two
hinting at it, yes.
yeah, and so those two are fucking, and oh my fuck, the guy that she went up there into the space station with, did he mention that he wants to go back to see his two girls? He's got two girls, misses his girls.
They were heavy-handed on that.
Every other goddamn sentence from this guy, it's for my girls. I miss my girls. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. But unless these girls come up to the fucking space station, or you find out that they're dead and he murdered them or something, stop fucking talking, because it goes nowhere. It eventually comes to nothing.
Yeah.
Like the majority of this movie comes to fucking nothing. But so they see that war is breaking out down on Earth, and what I really like is I don't know any geography. I know a little bit, I guess. They're very sure to make sure that you have no idea where all those bombs are going off.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like it's the middle of right. Like okay, because
Could
we
be
don't
anywhere.
Yeah.
There's too many clouds.
And then
But you can surely see that they're most likely nuclear bombs.
But what I like too is he gets the message. Take control of the lead America gets take control of the I.S.S. by whatever means necessary, and lead Russia gets take control of the I.S.S. whatever means necessary. And this is where I turn to you and I'm like, why? What fucking purpose would it serve for one of them to take over the other one?
They just want control.
But why?
They're honestly, at the end of the day, they don't need a why. They
I
just
just-
want control. It's at the end. If you're talking about North Korea and the U.S., if they were doing stuff together, they would do the exact same thing.
I don't think
It's
so.
just whoever
I
has
think-
control of whatever.
I think the 6 or however many people are up in the space station would say to themselves, look, we're inside a fucking paper bag, a plastic bag, floating in the vacuum of deathly space. If you want to fight, fine, we'll fight. But I think we have bigger things to fucking worry about. We've got to stay alive for who knows how long. And once we do run out of oxygen, we've got to somehow get to Earth. Like, there were so many, it makes zero sense for them to fight. It makes way more sense for them to work together. And
But they also can't all leave together
they can't, but they can survive for as long as they can up there.
and hope that someone sends something after a war.
That's a good message. That's a good like, you know what? The rest of the world was fighting, but we 6 people cramped in this space, we learned to work together. But no, the movie's like, no, fight.
There's in the movie they say there's an experiment that's being done that might help people.
Who started the experiment? Whose experiment was it?
That one was.
The Russian dude with the beard.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was a Russian experiment.
That we were going to steal.
Not we, America.
That
America was going to steal. And I'm like, okay.
There's no Canadians up there this time.
America, I know you guys are trying to look, and I'm not saying America, I'm saying America in the movie, is trying to look like the good guys. You're coming off as the bad guys. One, they show America as the first ones to say, take over the I.S.S. And then they're like, okay, we got to steal this research.
But what is the research? Did you even get that?
I got radiation, a cure for radiation sickness.
Okay, you got that far?
Which may or may not be right. I don't know.
Because I didn't get like the full gist of it. Because I was like, it's something to do with radiation. I'm like, okay, it must be important to like has to be something super important for them to go take over the ISS and kill the others.
But then, as like I told you, they're like, okay, what if America had taken over and shot all the Russians, killed all the Russians, and then phoned down back to Houston, said, okay, Houston, we got rid of all the Russians.
How do you come back from that?
You don't.
Jesus.
But it's also,
It's part of war?
if the war's already started, I guess it's going to continue. But it's also, hey, Houston. Oh, Houston's a crater. Okay, where else is there? Texas, I think. Hey, Texas. Oh, Texas is a crater.
I'm sure they have a backup underground thing.
Okay, but the point is, Kate, you know what? Sorry, guys. We're dealing with a nuclear emergency down here. You guys got to hang out up there for a while. Well, no, we've only got about like 8 more hours of oxygen. Well, sorry, guys. We can't help you right now. You're dead.
I'm with all the corporate rockets and everything going up and everything, I'm sure there's a backup plan. I'm sure there's something where it's like, if by some reason there's a nuclear attack and our main place goes down, you have the full right to take over and help our ISS crew.
I'm going to
down.
take this sticker and I'm going to put it on my keyboard while you explain. So I explained up until I explained up until they each got the thing that they got to take over the other one. And then
Now
one of
what
the
do they
Russians,
do?
Then one of the Russians says, "Hey, the antenna outside is broken."
Our antenna's broken.
All right.
So you go fix it. And then that's where I'm like, there's no pushback.
But
Wait,
also,
your antenna's broken. Go fix it yourself.
if the American was dead, so if the Russians had succeeded and one of them, who would go out to fix the antenna? None of this movie
That
made any
didn't make
fucking
sense to me. And they even pointed out in the movie, and no one says anything. They're just like, oh, I guess we'll be good about it and take. Maybe it's a turn thing. I have no clue. So he's like, okay, I'll go out and I'll do my spacewalk to help you fix your antenna. And so he goes out to fix the antenna, and then the thing you brought up happens.
Which was?
The unclamping of his
So-
safety harness.
Let's keep in mind that this is not Armageddon. These guys have to train for years to do this. So he's like, okay, I'm clamping, moving over, clamping, unclamping, moving over, clamping. So he's constantly clamped to the tethers that are holding him on. Yep. And then this one time he's reaching. Oh, I got to untether myself. Reaching. And then one of the Russians guys goes to this arm that in the void of space can go,
Oh, it's not there yet.
Bang.
No,
And
because he reaches. Because he untethers himself
Right.
to reach the next point. Goes
Right.
over to that next point, and for some reason doesn't
tether
clamp
himself
himself
again.
back. And it's like, well, why wouldn't that be the first thing you do?
right? Seeing as how you've probably trained for hundreds of hours doing this.
Yeah. And I trained for an hour watching this, and I can figure that out. There must have been a reason that I missed, but
No, I
Yeah.
think it's like quick, hurry up and get past it so no one
get
will
to the
notice.
arm part. So
But
they
then-
use our Canada arm.
That's right. No, isn't our Canada arm in the Hubble telescope? I can't remember. Oh no, it is on
probably-
ISS.
yeah.
That's right. Our Canada arm. That's right.
It was in one
Good
of the
point.
last movies we watched. But they use the Canada arm, I assume.
Canada arm.
Maybe not in this movie. Maybe it's an alternate reality. It's Marvel.
That guy does have to get back to his 2 girls though. That's why he had to use the arm.
No, the arm was being used by a Russian.
Oh,
So the Russian smacks him away. So he goes flying off, and they lose track of him.
yeah. What I like is he's floating away. And you're like, okay. Now I guess what happened in the story from the screenwriter's mind was when we stop seeing him float away, he just kind of pauses there and doesn't go any further.
we just
because
assume-
an hour later he's fine. He's
we
right
assume
beside
that
it.
he goes flying off into space.
Like fucking like George Clooney in Gravity. He just goes drifting away.
Yeah, you spoiled it, Rob. But with that spoiler comes the assumption that he might have just hung on somewhere.
I guess. Again, they never go into any unless they did. Because by
Maybe-
this point I
maybe
was starting
there was a washroom break that
my
took
eyelids were starting to
and
get
I
heavy. I'm
forgot.
like, I don't know what's going on anymore. Because it legit gets into there's a bunch of fighting. And not really fighting, arguing. Between
Paranoia, which is rightfully there.
right. But the problem is it's boring paranoia. It's like
I like it though.
But it was so boring. All of it was boring.
I enjoyed it. It was just that going from A to B didn't make super much like a lot of sense. It was like I have a good concept, and it was a good concept for a movie. But then I have to like we see all the time with COVID movies. I have to fill in the blanks with this great concept, and I don't have time to do it. So either I did it real quick and didn't think about it, or I did it with AI, hoping that it would make sense.
Well, then our protagonist, invites Dodderman in, and she's like, Dodderman, our guy is dead. They have the advantage. What are we going to do? Oh, they're doing some research. Let's steal the research. And what? Yeah, let's steal the research, I guess. I don't know.
No, it was the Russian girl.
But what did Dodderman want? What did he want to do?
Dodderman?
The guy with his 2 daughters.
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't what?
He didn't want, like, he didn't care. He just wanted to survive.
Okay.
He wanted to find a way to kill them to survive.
Okay.
Because that was
Oh, yeah, and then Blondie.
Russian
Blondie.
wanted to switch sides.
What was her name? Veronica? Or what?
Veronica, yeah.
Veronica,
Something like
yeah.
that. It was Russian Veronica.
She says, hey, I'll give you my key. You give me your key. You can take the experiment or whatever, the science.
Yeah, the
something.
experiment everyone wants.
What was she going to get out of it?
She was mad that they killed her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, her American boyfriend.
Because the guy who got hit with the Canada arm and is off flying in space somewhere is her boyfriend. So
but what did she get out of it? Why did they bother swapping keys? Why didn't she just give her the fucking Russian key?
I think she wanted something on the American side, or wanted to set up something. But then, our main character chick was like, "Okay, I'll believe you, so I'll go do that." But then figured out, oh shoot, you must be lying to me for some reason. So the blonde girl ends up setting up this distraction that she said she was going to do.
It's gonna ruin our continuity now that I took my hood off.
It's okay. I didn't edit that part out. So she said she was going to do a distraction. She did the distraction. The other girl, the main character, was like, she's not doing the distraction. What a bitch. I got to go turn on this Russian girl. And then Russian girl does the distraction, gets killed for it.
Right.
And then
she gets cracked in the back of the head.
Our main character goes, oh, shoot, she was doing the right thing.
Yep.
And now I'm stuck with crazy dude.
But then also, Lead America comes back in from the outside somehow
to save the day, and then dies.
But the worst is when Lead America and Lead Russian go to kill each other, they're wrestling, and then they stab each other, and then they like die hugging.
Yeah,
and
it's a message.
But I'm like,
it's a symbol.
This is so fucking bored. I was really bored, man. And then you're like, okay. They're at the end. Dodderman is like, I just want to get home, and he's making like fucking breakfast.
He's losing it.
Yeah, and so she goes.
He's lost it. He thinks he's right no matter what, and he's making his breakfast, but setting something up. But he.
No, he won't let go of the knife. Remember, he had the knife.
Took
he would let
all
go
of the experiment before she could get her hands on it, which is why she felt the blonde girl turned on her.
Oh, okay.
So he took the stuff. But he was going to take it and take the astronaut suit and go himself all alone.
And then
so he was turning on her.
Her and Russian guy kill him, and then they go.
There's a lot of he's and hers, and they're like,
like you don't care about anybody. That was another one of the biggest problems is you don't give a shit about anybody. Like I could care.
I like the main character.
If she
died,
was
enough for that.
If she died. I had no strong desire to see anybody survive.
You like the main character and you like the blonde Russian girl, but then everyone else, you were correct that everyone else was like, they could all die.
Even those two, because there's no real they try to set her up that she's doing this thing because her dad died and her husband died or her girlfriend died. No, her girlfriend something. Her girlfriend cheated on her and then died or something. I can't remember what, but. So she's like, now I'm just kind of a loner and I keep to myself and I do my own thing and I just want to do my work. So she's a bit of
I was
kind of a
waiting
workaholic.
for the two girls to start with each other.
Right.
Even though.
That's the way that you set up relations. But
Enough time.
she's like, oh, you know, so I just kind of do my thing, and you're like, oh, okay, like she does her own thing. So if she dies, she died in the line of duty. She died doing what she believed in. She died doing what she thought was right. And then blonde Russian girl, you're like, okay, well, her boyfriend is this guy, and he's dead now, so she has nothing to live for, except she has 2 daughters, or her niece has 2 daughters, or something.
Her nieces.
She got to get back to the girls. And of all of them, I'm like, okay, well, I hope she gets back, because that'd be nice, I guess.
They just focused on those 2 more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Especially, like, the boyfriend, like, who was obvious that he was going to die first.
Yeah.
And there should have been a little bit more there so that we could feel a little bit of their chemistry and be like, okay, that hurt. That's a poor blonde girl.
Yeah.
But we
no,
just didn't care.
There was too much. The movie was moving way too quick for you to give a shit about anybody. All right, Phil, how many ISS out of 10 would you give ISS?
I like these type of movies, so I'm gonna put it a little bit higher than I would if this was like a war movie or something. I don't know. I give it a 6 out of 10. What's your rating?
4.
Did you hear the family next to us? The whole movie?
No.
They had a son who kept leaving his seat. That was annoying. But they had a son who they read every single fucking thing for, and this movie had so many subtitles. I'm just like, know the room. Read the room.
I wasn't paying attention.
If there's so many...
How young was his son?
Older than my son. Probably about like 12 or something. It could be 10.
He should have known the Russian inherently.
No, he just shouldn't be there. This isn't a movie for him. It's a boring movie.
Kids like boring
He
movies.
was bored out of his mind, getting out of his
up and
seat,
walking around.
Oh, I wanted to just...
Well,
I was
being the better
frustrated.
parent, I didn't notice this child walking.
You were on the other side of me.
probably falling asleep.
You just didn't want to look at my face, so you just ignored that side of the theater. Also, the signs on the fucking theater to leave, those green signs.
I was busy watching the movie.
You never get annoyed with these the green exit signs that shine a little bit on the
I
screen?
try to pay attention to the goddamn movie, unlike some fucking people.
I have ADD, and I'm just like all over the place all the time.
I was constantly turning to you going, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
True, I have to deal with this next to me.
We're sorry that you've been continuing to watch and complain. Follow us on our socials, Threads and Facebook. Or in Facebook. Or
I'm
not on
I'm
Threads.
still on Threads, mostly just.
I know we're on
watching people.
Instagram because you send me stuff on Instagram and our website
it's mostly,
and YouTube.
You know what? We still have a Reddit.
We still have a Reddit. Ask us questions on our Reddit.
Go to our Reddit.
I don't know where it is anymore, so if you're asking questions on
Watch
there,
and complain.
I'm not going to follow
Almost
them.
everything is watch and complain.
I'm not going to follow any of that. I'm going to go in there as a troll and just ask questions that we can answer, but people won't know that it's me asking the questions on Reddit.
All right, Thomas, I know you're watching this, or the equivalency in whatever your name is. Do the your name thing.
Your name.
No, to cover your mouth.
Your name.
There you go. You out there, that one person who's still here,
No one's
subscribe.
here. They've already subscribed. If they're going to be on this long, we should give them a gift for subscribing.
Can you believe that if someone's watching this for 47 minutes, probably a little less, had to edit out that part, that they're not subscribed?
I wouldn't be. But if you do subscribe, we will send you
Nothing.
Gift.
Nothing.
Gift.
Absolutely
a
nothing.
phone. A brand new iPhone. What's the newest one?
Send me the brand new iPhone.
I'll send you
and
a brand new
I will
iPhone.
send them
All right.
an
Phil
equivalent
will send you the
something.
box. That his iPhone came in.
I'll sign it.
Yeah, that's what people want. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
My mother's like, I want that.
Give me the box. What's in the fucking box?